So I'm going to share a little secret with you guys. Even though I pride myself on doing these videos where it's all one cut, there's no edits. Sometimes, like today, I will start my intro over and over and over again because when I first get going and I start talking, it just sounds like it's everything I'm saying is dumb. So I go, no, I don't want to do that. And I stop recording and I delete it and I start again. And then the same thing, dumb. And anyway, new video, obviously. But this is going to be a different format. When I made this channel, the goal was to get into rap music and really explore that whole genre. There's so much music out there. It's hard to hear it all, you know. I listen to a lot of different stuff. I listen to rock, mostly hard rock, you know, metal, classic rock. There's all kinds of subgenres, just like rap and hip hop. There's all these subgenres. Another type of music I listen to though is called ambient. And I wanted to make a video kind of showcasing ambient because I love ambient music. If you're not familiar with ambient music, it's just really calm. Well, not necessarily calm. Subtle tones, sounds, just kind of rolling sound. I mean, some of these songs, you can't even really call them songs because it really is just sound. But like other genres, there's all these subgenres. There's this nice kind of happy stuff. There's dark ambient and everything in between. And ambient is something I've listened to for years and years and years. I love it a lot. But if you've never heard of it, if you've never stumbled upon it, ambient is one of those things where you're not going to hear it on the radio. Really, honestly, you shouldn't listen to it while you're driving because you're going to fall asleep. So unless you kind of stumble on it on your own, it's hard to discover. And since I enjoy it so much, and since there's just so much shit in the world, there's so many reasons to be stressed out, I wanted to share some of my favorite ambient music with you guys, just clips. I'll give you some names, some bands, well, not bands, artists, to kind of become familiar with. Because sometimes it's nice to just have sound, to just kind of soak into. I don't know how many of you are familiar with some of these live YouTube channels that stream, like the lo-fi hip-hop beats and stuff like that. And it's nice to just have something to kind of alter your brainwaves. Just slow everything down, kind of cut the chatter, cut the noise from the world, and let's just slow down. So that's a lot of talking, which I need to start learning how to spread out all my talking. Anyway, let's jump into some stuff. So, the first thing I want to do is we're going to kind of go where it all started for me. There's an artist called Aphex Twin. Aphex Twin is kind of the granddaddy of techno music. And he has a iconic, in my opinion, album called Selected Ambient Works 2, Volume 2. And all it is 2 discs and 2 CDs. That's when I bought it. It was CDs. 12 tracks on each one. And it's all ambient. Just mellow, quiet sound. So I don't know. There's no names for these tracks. I've got this one hearted though. I wonder if this is Tree. Tree was one of my favorite ones. Yeah. So if you've never heard ambient before, this is what it is. Now, this is a 10-minute track. It doesn't just repeat that same sound over and over again. I'm gonna skip forward a bit. I've always enjoyed this track. It builds over time. This one always felt to be kind of haunting. I always kind of pictured a large, gnarled tree standing by itself on some rolling foothill, and there's fog, and there's not a lot of light. crow hanging out on one of the limbs. Oh man, I could just sit here. So there's an example. Now you're probably thinking, what the fuck? Like what is that? And ambient is something that I think if you try and judge it immediately, I don't think you'll enjoy it, and I think you'll miss an opportunity. There's something about this kind of music that you have to. It's not like listening to other music where there's a beat you can pick up on, and you can kind of listen to the lyrics, and certain ways that you get hooked. This is more of like slowly sliding into a bathtub of sound and just letting the sound soak. That's what I think of when I think of ambient. Now, there's another album he has. This is a fucking crazy album. It's called Drux. I don't really know what it's about. I've always interpreted this album. This was another double disc album that I bought on CD. I always interpreted this one as a massive drug trip, where he starts out. So if you guys want to hear some of the crazy shit that Aphex Twin would do, this is the same guy. So very techno, very fast, very jittery. Let me skip ahead a little bit here. For the album, the opening tracks aren't too crazy. That right there is not too crazy, believe it or not. And then it just gets fucking nuts. There's some wild tracks on this album. Anyway, there's a track 6. I can't. Gwetty Mernus. This is like the most horribly misspelled album of all times. This is extremely dark, in my opinion, version of what I would call ambient music. And I don't know if this is when the trip started to turn. No idea. Just like infiltrates your mind. And if you just close your eyes, you can picture some trippy shit. So there's another example. Now, just to kind of highlight this guy's range on this album, this last track, usually most people really enjoy this. This is Nanu 2, pretty popular to me. Well, popular to me, that doesn't even make any sense. I love this track. Basic piano, super simple. This doesn't really classify as ambient, but it is beautiful. And it's just this. I don't know anything about piano or scales or progression. Anyway, cool track. I can't, unfortunately, if I sit here and listen to every single song all the way through, we're going to be here for an hour, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I don't want to get blocked either. Oh, my thing got... the block got lifted on one of my videos. That was cool. I'll have to talk about that in another thing. Okay, Aphex Twin. There you go. So there is one example of some ambient. If you want to start off with just an album that you put on and listen to. I recommend Ambient Works Volume 2. There are a couple tracks that you might notice of, this is kind of like a little repetitive. If you find yourself getting bored, I that's totally fine. That's normal. This isn't really something that you listen to actively. It's just kind of there. For me anyway. I mean, obviously I can't tell people how to enjoy music, but if you sit down to listen to ambient with the intention of, oh, I'm going to sit here and listen to it, you're going to get bored because there's not a whole lot going on. Let's go to something a little different. So there's another artist. This guy, I want to say he's out of Denmark, but I don't remember. Anyway, this is a recent album. Came out this year, and this is another example of some of the range that exists with ambient, because ambient is not necessarily just like a lack of instruments, just synthetic sound floating around. This one's kind of got some other instruments going on, which I like. Pretty cool. So, I don't know if you can see the artwork, but it's this person kind of in a snowy field, and there's these old giant machines off in the distance. This album is kind of like a story. Now, there's no lyrics, but in some of the tracks, there's kind of sound effects. It sounds like, maybe one of these machines is failing and falling over and stuff like that. It's not too crazy jarring, but it's pretty neat. And, if you look at the track names and stuff like that, there is a bit of a story maybe being told. Here's another one that I really like. I'll scroll up so you can see the name of the album if you want to look it up. Pretty cool. I was laughing just then because for a moment I felt like that guy who's desperate to convince you that this music is good. Oh man. Anyway, let's go into something that I call dark ambient. There's a guy, his name, I don't remember his last name. He goes by Lustmord. That's his artist name. Where the fuck? Oh, recently played. Here we go. That's what I'm looking for. Now, Lustmord is a trippy dude. Very dark ambient. He has very dark, roaming, echoey, heavy, if you can call ambient heavy. But just almost like a thunder type of sound. But this guy literally did a performance for the Church of Satan on 666. What was that, 15 years ago for their ritual. So, yeah, it's pretty dark. Now, all that being said, it's not like I'm trying to brag about, devil worshiping music or something like that, but he does have some songs that are just crazy cool, I think. And you'll notice there's a lot of in this track, Permafrost, a lot of banging around shit, just weird sounds and stuff like that. don't even know what I'm doing right now. I'm waiting for the rattle. It's coming. Strange, right? I'm laughing at myself because I feel like a big old music nerd right now. And you have to keep in mind, I'm just sitting in my house by myself, talking into a microphone, staring at a camera, playing this weird fucking music. And it feels absurd. I gotta say, it feels absurd. So that's Lustmord. So we started with Aphex Twin. This is Lustmord. I referenced most of these guys early on because these guys have been around forever. They're kind of the granddaddies of techno, Aphex Twin, and then Lustmord being the granddaddy of dark ambient, in my opinion. Been around forever. Let's jump into something else. Now, saying, okay, Bob, this is great. You got this weird, trippy shit. What about the mellow stuff? Like, is there something pleasant? Yes. So, if you want to jump into a nice album of just sound that's going to calm and relax, it's not incredibly boring. You want to get into Stars of the Lid. That's the name of the group. I think it's 2 people. And the album is Their Refinement of the Decline. I know it's kind of a weird name, but this whole album, I don't go to sleep to ambient music. However, sometimes there are nights when I cannot sleep and I wake up and I come lay down on the couch and I turn on this album because it just, whatever's rolling around in my brain, it stops. And it's really nice. So here's Tippy's Demise. This is one of my favorite tracks. I'm going to bump it up just a little bit here. It's hard to showcase ambient music because so many of the songs are long and they just slowly build over time. So I feel like I'm gonna throw this video away. I might. I don't know. This really feels dumb, but there you go. What are you gonna do? You know. Another artist, Atrium Carcery. If that's how you pronounce it. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. So again, ambient, but this one's kind of neat because it does have some instruments going on here. Oh, let's play a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. You can see what I mean as far as just the calm, slow everything down, patient, just, you know, it's not going to solve your problems. It's not going to make the world fix itself, but it can, this kind of music for me, it really helps me to just sometimes just decompress. Just cut some of the fucking noise that comes in from so many angles, you know. There's a lot of people that are just struggling in a lot of ways. And, you know, everybody struggles. I struggle. So it's nice to have something that you can use to just kind of calm the brain. What's another one I wanted to play? So I think I'll wrap this up with another track from Atrium Carcery. Love the artist. Don't know how to pronounce the name. Here's another one. And hopefully you can see, yeah, you can see these. If I'm a good person, and I should be, what I'll do is I'll put links in the description so you can check out some of these songs. This one's got like a light, I don't know what you call it on the drum, where you just kind of like pat the cymbal with the, like a paintbrush type looking thing. A little bit of piano. There you go. So 22 minutes in. There you go. There's an intro to Ambient. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, Pop-Up. I'm going to call myself Pop-Up from now on, not just Bob the Pop-Up. Bob isn't even my name. Spoiler alert. There you go. Not even my name. If you want to listen to, let's say, okay, maybe you're intrigued. You want to listen to more. It's hard to discover more. There is a label that covers so many artists, not covers, that hosts so many artists, called Cryo Chamber. Cryo Chamber. Cryo Chamber, that label, has a live YouTube stream that's running 24/7. It's always on. It's actually kind of strange. There's been a couple times I've seen it off, and it's like, wow, they're actually not running. So not only do they have tons of live streaming that you can just go, and this guy cycles through this massive catalog that he has from all these different ambient artists. You can listen to that, but he also makes compilations. So he'll if you go on YouTube and just type in Cryo Chamber, you're gonna find tons, or you might have to put ambient in there just to kind of specify for the search, but you're gonna find tons and tons of compilations. They release albums sometimes, actually most of the time. Lots of stuff's on Spotify. So yeah, there you go. You know, honestly, this does still feel kind of dumb, but if a handful, 5 of you, 10 of you, end up discovering a bunch of music that you love, and it does help you just kind of, awesome. That's all that matters. You know. Clearly, I'm not going to get a bunch of hits for talking about ambient music, but I do love it. It's something that's helped me through just stress in general. I like to listen to it when I'm writing, or if I'm doing something, anything kind of creative. It just kind of dials in my brainwaves a little bit better. And yeah, there you go. Next video will be Kendrick Lamar. Damn. Well, I haven't decided if it's going to be Damn. Other people have said I should start earlier, and I might just do that. So anyway. All right, y'all. Have a good day.